Dana, looks like those gray skies stick around for a couple more days.
I know. What do they say? It's like red sky and morning, sailors
So
take warning.
Yeah.
That was definitely applicable today because we had that rain move in with that warm front, but it's really just kind of a precursor to what we're going to see for the rest of the week, which is unfortunately more rain. So here's what we have from that warm front today. It ended up filling out pretty well later in the day, especially in areas over western Maine. Then if you take a close look at that cell actually up in Canada, a little bit of lightning there. So there's a little bit of instability there, but we're not going to see any lightning down here. And eventually this warm front is going to continue to move out of our area, but it really sets us up for our next system, which is going to bring even more rain. So overnight tonight, we have a brief reprieve from kind of that heavier rain. However, early tomorrow is not going to be a great day. It's still going to be overcast and drizzle will be present, especially along the coastline, because we're going to see some of that onshore flow and probably a decent amount of fog in the early morning too. And then our next system's warm front is going to be approaching later that afternoon. So by about noon to 1 p.m., we're starting to see some of those rain showers move into areas in western Maine, and that front is going to move those rain showers throughout the state later in the day. And then kind of once again, we get that little brief break late Thursday evening, still kind of drizzly behind this system. And because that warm front has moved out of our area, that puts us in the warm sector. So temperatures are going to get really high on Friday. I would say upper 50s to lower 60s. So we're not worried about precipitation type here. This is going to be an all rain system. However, it is going to bring in that heavier rain, especially early Friday morning, overspreading the state through much of the afternoon. You can see those kind of yellows and oranges colors. So it is going to be raining pretty heavily throughout the day. And then on the back end of this system, we kind of just get into a showery pattern. They're called wraparound showers once the system moves through. And we're going to see that throughout the afternoon on Friday and then on Saturday too, because this system is going to linger a little bit there. So still showery on Saturday, though significantly less than Friday. And then overall, I think Sunday, therefore, is the better of the 2 weekend days because it's going to be a little bit drier. Now, most of us are going to see about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain here. I do think that there is a chance for some flood concerns, especially up in the foothills and the mountains. We do have a flood watch in effect here until Friday at 4 p.m. And that's because these areas are going to see some of the highest rainfall amounts, also with that snow melt because it's been so warm throughout this week. So that flood watch will be in effect until Friday at 4 p.m. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Then also something to consider here is because we're in the warm sector, that means we're going to see winds out of the south. At their peak, they're going to be about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So I think we could see some isolated power outages, but overall, I don't think the wind speeds are quite high enough to cause any widespread power outages. So in terms of our marine forecast, that gale warning isn't in effect until Friday at 5 a.m. because that's where we're going to see the highest wind speeds, particularly Friday afternoon and early evening. So the rest of the week isn't great. We got a lot of shower activity, especially on Friday. That's where we're going to have the heaviest and most windswept rain. Saturday, just kind of showery, temps in the mid to upper 50s. So Zach, I do think Sunday is the better of the 2 weekend days, a little bit drier there. So we'll keep watching that storm for Friday, but it just looks like we're going to need to keep that umbrella handy.
It is what it is. Dana, thanks so much.
April showers, right?
Yeah.